it's one thing to create a book or create recipes. You have to then photograph it.
Yep.
You have to then put it together in a graphic designer. Then you actually have to find a place that's going to print your books. And this is the funniest part. Like, if you want to learn business 101, lose money straight up. So I created this book. I was like, I'd made good money growing up as a personal trainer, a strength conditioning coach. So I was like, sweet. How much is it going to cost? Yeah, I'm going to make, for some reason, it's like you guys when you're an athlete. You're like, I know I'm going to make the NFL. I'm just going to do it. Like, yeah, sweet. I'm just going to do it, right? So I'm like, okay, 2,000 books. I reckon I can sell 2,000 books. How much is it going to cost me? Because when you're self-publishing, you're putting up all the costs. Right, you're not giving it to a publisher who's going to outlay all the costs, and then you take a percentage of each sale. So I went and did all that. I'd got a friend to do the graphic designing. I got someone to shoot with me. So we shot all the recipes. Then we put it all together. And then all of a sudden, guess what, guys? You have these books. That's great. But now they're just sitting at home and you have to sell them. So it was really funny. Like, my first print run, I think, cost me like $18 per book. $18 per book. At the time, like, yeah, sweet. That sounds about right. So I ended up doing a second print run. Guess how much my second book was, boys? Have a guess. Anyone?
No, go ahead.
$6.
$1.10.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, okay, I made a mistake the first time around, but at least I averages out okay.
Were we selling those books for $100 a piece?
Yeah.
The first round?
Man,
Yeah.
I was actually selling for $40. So I was like, that's good markup. 50% markup's great, not including the cost of like the graphic designing or like anything.
Yeah.
Point was, it was a very expensive learning lesson because it's obviously helped me get to where I am today. But also, you know, it just business 101, do some case study work.
Right.
But ultimately, I eventually, the best person to sell any product that is yours, guys, and everyone knows this listening, is you. No matter when you take on a new business member, a team member, and you're trying to teach them your system, it's never going to be as good as in you selling it. That's fine. All right. You just got to make sure you live with that, unless you can find a system that works, or you are not solely responsible for selling that product in a certain way. Right. Irrespective of that, I thought about this. I'm like, so I've got these books. Now, who would buy my books? I don't think guys are going to bookstores. Truth be told, I don't think they are. So who's going to buy them? Mothers, girlfriends, and definitely grandmas, because they've got no idea what to buy their grandchildren.
Yeah.
Like, they really don't. They ask their daughters, they ask their sons, what do I buy you? So and so. So what I would do is I'd go into these bookstores. I'm like, guys, I'm from the local Northern Beaches. I just created this book myself. That's a nice local book. So I really sell it like that. And be like, if you have anyone who comes in here and says, I don't know what to get my grandson, boyfriend, or son, just point them this. Because not only do you want them to cook, it makes them look good because they can start to cook, but also they start to actually understand a basic life skill. And it's affordable. Yay, everybody wins. So what happened was they asked for one. I remember the lady very bluntly, she goes, Dan, I'll take one. I'm like, sweet. She's like, how much is one? I'm like, I don't know, like, we'll say $30 and you mark it up 10. So you make $10 more. I'm like, the lady was so sweet. She knew in her head that was the worst deal ever.
Right.
But then she's like, no, I don't want one book. I want one box. And I'm like, oh, sweet. So I'm like, so I had to redo the calculator. I didn't do any Excel spreadsheet, guys. Didn't have anyone. I was just like, naive kid. I didn't even think of a price to sell in the book. And I rocked up with my.
You already had them done. You just didn't know what you're selling them for.
I rocked up. I'm like, you want to sell my books? How much are they? I don't know. But come to me with a fair price. So I ended up selling out of that box, which had 14 in it in a day. So I brought back another 4, and within 1 week I'd sold out. So I sold 1,000 units in it was actually eight days.
How many in one store?
No, it was from multiple stores.
Okay,
doing the same thing the whole way around. If that was one store, I would just 100% double down on how many stores that company has, and just be like, "Hey guys, exclusive partnerships."
So let's reset here. Let's recap what we just heard. Basically, you had this idea. I'm going to make a cookbook for dudes that want to impress girls.
Yep. I
don't know what I'm doing. I have zero clue, but I'm just going to go hire a graphic designer to take pictures. I'm going to put all these recipes together in a book. I'm going to get them print and bounded and published myself. Now that I have them, I don't know what I'm going to sell them for. I don't know where I'm going to sell them. I don't know how to get rid of these. And then you start going to bookstores one by one and selling them by the box. That's basically what we just
That's
heard.
it. And then I learned about D2C sales as well. You can send people to websites. Didn't know about that. And you can, it was so funny because like I was so excited people purchasing my books that unfortunately, like I was still living at home at the time. We'd have all these books at home, and then these like all these the to-go shipping little envelopes. And so every day I'd be going down to the local post office and selling like I don't know how many I have. And I've got this massive trolley of these books, and mum was so sweet. She would like someday she would like pack some for me as well. But it was just a really cool learning. Like if I made no money on it, I would have walked away with the biggest learning experience ever of creating a business, because you're creating a product, you're learning to completely sell the product, and then you've got inventory. So you've got 3 pretty key factors in learning how to operate a business. And then after that, and to be honest, guys, like anything, like if you don't, this is my biggest thing. If you don't know something, which we all don't, we don't know everything, just learn it by asking someone who has. And I just kept asking questions. I was inquisitive.
See, and that's what from Ben's summary, that's what I took, right? Is okay, this is the first time through all this. You're realizing mid-process, okay, hey, maybe I've made some mistakes. I could have been a little bit more efficient. But you did it, and you started the momentum regardless. And it's like, look, I'll figure it out along the way. We talk about it all the time. How many opportunities have people missed because they're just afraid to start because they don't know everything?